Coming up on Fulton Today, Fulton's busiest day of the year, Election Day 2016. We'll have a full report. And it's an all-out blitz to make Fulton's law enforcement team. We'll take you to the massive job recruitment.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
And later, a prominent Atlanta news anchor tells her story of sobriety in an effort to help others. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. It's all hands on deck in Fulton County for Election Day 2016. Now, county and election officials are hoping that a successful early voting period will also mean a successful election day. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega is back again on the election beat. Priscilla?
Residents who did not take advantage of early voting will have to go to their assigned polling site on Tuesday to cast their ballot. And here at the Fulton County Elections Preparation Center is where all the votes will be counted. The Department of Registration and Elections is hoping the record number of residents who voted early will mean less lines and issues on Election Day. On Tuesday, there will be 205 polling locations open for Fulton residents. This year, poll workers will have new tools to make sure those in line to vote are at the right location.
We're leasing a bunch of tablets so that we can go have poll workers in the field, and what those poll workers will do will be able to they'll be able to pull up our voter registration file and determine whether the voter's in the correct line, correct polling place.
Even though poll workers will be double-checking, officials are strongly urging residents to check their assigned polling site online before they head out. That election's website will also let voters know if the line is longer than 20 minutes. And to ease voters' minds about election fraud, the Assistant U.S. Attorney will be handling any complaints of election fraud for the Northern District of Georgia. Now residents can go to FultonElections.com to check their assigned polling site. And be sure to tune in to FGTV on Tuesday for live updates from Assembly Hall at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Reporting from the Elections Preparation Center, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Now, once again, to see election results for Fulton County, visit FultonElections.com. You can also visit the Secretary of State's website. Fulton leaders pack a warehouse to learn what to do in the case of a suspicious package or an active shooter at a Fulton County building. The special training was designed for Fulton's floor leaders. This group is charged with safely and quickly getting employees and guests out of any county facility during an emergency. The floor leaders must go through mandatory training that covers 7 topics, everything from CPR to ADA requirements.
We're not teaching them to be first responders because that's the fire department or the bomb threat department or police, but they are the first line of defense, meaning what happens between the time that you have an emergency and the first responders actually get on site.
This class focused on bomb threats with a show and tell from a member of the bomb squad.
We can see the numbers heighten as far as bomb threats and actual packages throughout the country, and I think the county has made it important that we know how to evacuate and deal with those threats accordingly.
This training was held on the campus of Fulton's Brownfield. The last time Fulton County had a massive employee and guest emergency evacuation was during the courthouse shootings in March 2005. An annual event to remember victims of domestic violence and to honor survivors gets emotional once again. As the music played and the candles were lit, prevention advocates mourn those who pay the ultimate price of being victimized by an abuser. The 5th annual Domestic Violence Candlelight Vigil also included courageous testimonies from survivors and an inspiring wake-up call to action by Fulton leaders.
Our community is victimized with folks that don't understand that this is a crime and that no one should have to live in an environment where they feel unsafe and they're afraid of their significant partners, their wives, their husbands, their children, even with grandparents taking care of younger folks.
Georgia is 17th in the nation for the rate at which men kill women in domestic violence incidents. We called the names of 69 people, 69 women and some men, and many children who were victims of domestic violence homicides just in the past year.
Ms. Jackson won the Shining Light Award from the Partnership Against Domestic Violence for her work in the community and in the courts. The PADV is dedicated to saving lives year-round and helped to sponsor the Vigil. The event was hosted by the firm of Nelson, Mullins, Riley, and Scarborough. Fulton's law enforcement agencies and personnel department joined forces with the U.S. Department of Labor for a unique hiring initiative. FGTV's Dante Carter has the story.
5, 4, 3.
That course is tough.
Good job, all the way through. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
With every sit-up
Knock him out.
and every hangman,
30 seconds.
each person applying to join Fulton County's law enforcement family had to get through an agility test that was part of the application process.
50-year-old contestant, retired from the Bureau of Prisons back in June 30th, seeking a second career in law enforcement. I'm glad to have the opportunity. Been doing a little bit pre-training before here. The mannequin is heavy.
Fulton County, in partnership with the United States Department of Labor, coordinated a unique hiring initiative which granted more than 526 applicants opportunities for 90-plus county law enforcement positions within the Sheriff's Office, police, and emergency services departments.
The job fair today is geared toward veteran applicants who are leaving the military, wanting to enter the workforce, and Fulton County wants to offer those opportunities to the veterans coming home.
While those who've served our country are shown a veterans hiring preference, the net was cast to identify all skilled workers.
The hardest part was the hanging part because I've had an interlocking grip, so I didn't realize how much it was going to constrict my chest. So it was really hard to breathe once I got my breath together. It was pretty easy. The dummy was a lot heavier than I thought it was.
In addition to the physical agility exam, the employment process also includes a medical evaluation, a psychological exam, and emergency call center testing for those interested in serving in the emergency services department. And of course, perhaps the most important factor, the desire to serve the community. For FGTV, I'm Dante Carter.
Thanks, Dante. And with those new officers comes the need for some new cars. Fulton County Police get their first rollout of new vehicles delivered. The new Dodge Chargers are in and have been outfitted to keep officers safe while on the road. The vehicles were approved in the 2016 budget.
It's been quite a while since we've received a substantial capital budget. The officers are doubling up in some cars. A lot of the cars are past the county policy as far as miles and years. These are very exciting to the officers and to the public.
The chief says his department ordered a dozen more thanks to their salary savings. In all, there will be 28 charges, and not all of them will be marked. And still to come on Fulton Today, they are official. Meet the newest class of Fulton's young leaders in our district-by-district coverage next. And later.
My rock bottom occurred November 12th, 2012.
A former Atlanta news anchor shares her struggles with alcohol and her road to recovery. Stay with us, everybody. Dozens of teens accept the pledge to become Fulton's emerging leaders, and another group of young up-and-comers get their official leadership jacket. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves as he serves as keynote speaker to the newest Fulton Leadership Academy class. The at-large commissioner gave the students words of encouragement during their official jacket ceremony. The Fulton Leadership Academy is committed to a rigorous academic environment that empowers young men in grades 6 through 12 to become productive civic leaders.
And I want to encourage these young men to pursue academic excellence, but more importantly, be a leader, be a trailblazer, aspire for excellence, work with women, be respectful of women, be a gentleman.
The Fulton Leadership Academy has a focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The STEM approach that integrates experiences with aeronautics equips the scholars with the tools to compete in a global society for college entry and careers. To learn more about the Academy, you can visit their website. District 4 Commissioner Joan Garner welcomes dozens of teens to her second annual Emerging Leaders Conference. Fulton and Atlanta middle and high school students spent the day in class at the Loudermilk Center with a number of professional leaders and officials. Following the morning session with elected officials, the students participated in several breakout sessions where they learned everything from choices and consequences to gang life and educational opportunities.
I want them to go away with a sense of renewed spirit to get ahead and do well, that the world is ahead of them and they can do anything they want to do.
And we want to make sure that we can continue the growth and support that they need to be as strong and as knowledgeable and responsible as they can.
A lot of kids that I know, they don't have parents like my parents. And I think that's the main issue. When you don't have people at your house telling you can do it, you know, you're awesome, teaching you respect, teaching you, you know, how to be as a young adult, you're going to miss out on so much in life. So I want to get involved with parent involvement. That's what I want to do.
Many of the students had attended the initial conference last year. The commissioner and her team are already in the talks about the 2017 conference. A number of Fulton departments helped to pull off the day-long event, including its Office of Aging and Youth and the Office of Communications. And finally, one more look at how District 6 seniors showed their support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month by taking part in a 1K walk. The Camp Truett Senior Center participants laced up their sneakers and strolled around the facility. Many of the seniors said they knew someone who had gone through breast cancer, which makes them take care of themselves.
We encourage them wholeheartedly here at Camp Truett to eat healthy, walk daily as much as possible, and exercise their limbs so that they can have a long, healthy life.
We want to thank the Camp Truett family for once again, by their feet, walking in support of breast cancer prevention and breast cancer treatment. Also, we want to take this opportunity to thank the entire community for all that you're doing, not only doing this special emphasis on breast cancer, but also throughout the year.
The Camp Truett Senior Center 1K Breast Cancer Walk was one of many Awareness Month events held at county venues. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And when we come back, longtime TV anchor Amanda Davis shares her story and offers hope to some county graduates. Stay with us. A longtime Atlanta news anchor shares her story of sobriety with the hope of saving other parents who are facing substance abuse. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn has our story.
Former Fox 5 primetime anchor Amanda Davis shared her struggles with addiction to alcohol and the upheaval that caused in her life with a room full of others recovering from addictions. She was very candid.
Rather than try to manage what was going on, rather than try to get a grip, I wanted to escape. And drinking was my escape.
The audience was comprised of parents who were graduating from a family treatment court program called HOPE. HOPE stands for Helping Our Parents Excel. And participants listened as Davis gave details of her rehabilitative process and how much her church life helped her reach sobriety.
And that's why people like me can come and talk to you and tell you how we did it to give you hope. Isn't that the name of the program?
Those in the program are mothers deemed to be at risk or who have already lost custody of their children because of their substance abuse problems.
Some of the parents are facing all kinds of challenges of life that we may take for granted. Just being able to get up in the morning could be tough for some of them.
Program coordinators teach parenting skills, how to maintain sobriety, and how to combat what they call criminal thinking.
I learned how to think different. My mind was cloudy. You know, being on substances, your brain gets clouded with a lot of different things. The decisions you make are the ones you should not make.
As HOPE participants continue on the path of recovery, Davis tells them not to look back at their past, but always, always to look forward. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Lynn Vaughn.
Thank you very much, Lynn and Amanda. Meanwhile, young people talk directly with county leaders about their concerns about sex ed in their schools. During an intimate roundtable discussion, several members of Sister Love Incorporated discussed changes they would like to see at Fulton County schools. Now, Sister Love is a nonprofit which works to reduce sexually transmitted infections and HIV through education and testing. Now, some of Sister Love's youth leaders talked about their sex education ideas with members of the Board of Commissioners.
It's very brave of young people to voice this. It's something that's been missing, I think, in public schools for a very long time, and so I'm glad that we're bringing this issue to the surface.
The group says they're concerned students get more information about sexual health from their peers instead of educators.
That's ultimately what will empower folks to live their best lives, is if they have the information. And right now what they're getting is either not getting information or they're getting misinformation because of the curriculum that we have being centered on abstinence.
The sexual ed part was part of our health and PE classes, and I didn't take PE. I didn't take PE at all. I took chorus. So if I didn't have that connection at that time, that's what they were called. If I didn't have that connection, I didn't even get offered the information that they had.
Now, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, adolescents 15 to 24 years old account for nearly half of the 20 million new STD cases each year. Fulton employees learn how to help prolong their lives by getting the proper screenings and learning all about nutrition. The government center atrium turned into a health fair with vendors discussing cancer, heart disease, and diabetes prevention. The fair was a part of the county's Worksite Wellness Initiative and Employee Appreciation Week.
This is so important that we do this every year, because this is an opportunity employees can actually get in front of the vendors or get in front of our health providers and really ask those important questions.
A vendor with the Men's Health and Wellness Center was educating participants about the need to see a doctor at least once a year and to get biometric screenings.
The three major killers of men: heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. And it's critical that they know what their numbers are. Their PSA for prostate cancer, their blood pressure, their weight, their cholesterol.
The vendor said women need to know the health risk men face as well, because they typically encourage the men in their lives to be healthier and to see the doctor regularly. The Wellness Health Fair is a part of the county's ongoing effort to keep employees healthy in order to lower insurance costs so that more money can be spent on services for residents. And up next, the Central Library is getting renovated from the top down. Stay with us. Organizations that work to improve the environment get the recognition they deserve. At the annual Environmental Awards program, 2 winners received proclamations by the Board of Commissioners. The Fulton County Citizens Commission on the Environment recognized a total of 8 individuals and organizations who work to clean up the air, water, and land.
It's about spreading the possibilities and extending the best practices. So by honoring these particular awardees, we're sharing what could be a potential all over the county.
One winner developed a smartphone app that allows residents to report run-down and abandoned homes in order to clean up the area's blighted properties.
We also are working on the policy front to help the city of Atlanta to hopefully propose tougher policies as it relates to blight.
The Porsche Care Network was also named a winner for beautifying areas surrounding its Hapeville headquarters and for sponsoring in elementary schools anti-litter program. And finally, construction crews are making the Central Library's roof more energy efficient. The Central Library has multiple roof levels, which crews are removing and replacing with more energy efficient roofing material. Now, funds from the voter-approved library building project are paying for the $1.5 million project. Designs for the last project started last year, and currently the project is ahead of schedule.
And we are about 35% complete. We are ahead of schedule, and we've had great weather, and so it's been moving along pretty well.
The roof renovation is a precursor to the major reconstruction project scheduled for the Central Library. Very cool. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out anytime on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.